Good, whenever this is. Not legal advice. Like, subscribe, share, show it to your dogs, whatever. I appreciate you watching and commenting, and that's where I'll leave it at that. Obviously, not legal advice. Don't rely upon this. Just my opinions. Before I get started, why do cows not have, or why do cows have bells? Because their horns don't work. Um, my boat was so cold last week, I tried to make a fire, but it sank. I guess you can't have your kayak and heat it too. Anyway, wanted to speak a little bit about GTII. I've spoken about it a couple times. I looked at the March 2022 order and it gave me some more interesting information that I wanted to pass on. One thing from that March 2022, that's the opinion of FINRA. It appears clearly that Alpine has not paid the $12 million fine, nor has apparently the SEC tried to collect that $12 million fine for violations of the Bank Secrecy Act. It's referenced obliquely in the decision, but it appears they have not. And it also appears, based upon the income figures that Alpine had at the time and current time, that if they were actually levied a fine of $12 million, that would put them out of business. So, again, don't know why the SEC has not tried to collect it. Seems to be they're letting Alpine off the hook, and they should be pressured accordingly to try to collect that lien amount. So that's one issue. So separate and apart from that, I kind of went through the ruling of March 2022 again, and what came across was a few things. One, it is clear that as to Alpine, that nobody made any kind of material decision without John Hurry being involved and calling all the shots. So in essence, John Hurry does not appear separate from Alpine and a bunch of other entities that he's connected with. And we know that John Hurry also has entities in the Cayman Islands and probably is doing, although I don't know specifically, but there's been claims about all kinds of shady things going on offshore in the Cayman Islands, the hiding of assets and other such conduct. So there were a lot of people at Alpine, and I noticed from this decision that there was like a merry-go-round. There would people be in the compliance office, they'd be CEO, and then they'd leave. There'd be one director, three directors, then one of them would leave. So there was quite a merry-go-round, and that also reflected the fact that John Hurry appeared to be running the show. At least that's what the ruling of FINRA seemed to suggest. But there was a whole plethora of people that were referenced who were high-ranking officials at uh, Alpine, but left, and many of them left disgruntled, and they would have left in 2020, 2021, so not too long ago. So I was thinking, well, if you have a bunch of disgruntled employees who maybe don't like Mr. Hurry, that's the suggestion, then maybe they would like to talk to us. Maybe they'd like to disclose what happened while they were there. Maybe they want to protect themselves. So I kind of found some names, and I'm going to spell the names. And if anybody has information about any of these people, please let me or someone else know where they're located and how we could speak to them, because they may provide us very useful information. So the people that I have referenced from this particular order, one was a gentleman by the name of Christopher Frankel, Frankel, and he was one of Alpine's directors from 2018, I think, through 2020. He was also the chief operating officer and the chief compliance officer, kind of an oxymoron with these guys, when he left due to an acrimonious relationship with John Hurry. Then we have Jason Kane, Kane, who was in-house counsel and a chief compliance officer in 2019, but only for 6 months, when he left because decisions were being made without consulting him. So he resigned. Then there was a David Brandt, Brant. He was Alpine's chief financial officer from 2016 through 2020 when he left due to a disagreement with management. Then we have Christopher Dubeck. That's Doubek, and he was Alpine's sole director from 2018 through 2021, reporting directly to Hurry. He was the chief compliance officer and chief executive officer during that same period up through 2021 when he was terminated. Again, not a big fan of Mr. Hurry. Two other people that I'm just going to reference also appear not to have had very good relationships with Mr. Hurry while at Alpine, and one is named Randall Jones, Jones. The other gentleman is Joseph Walsh, Walsh. So these people all worked with the company, and they all left Alpine. They all seem to have a acrimonious relationship with Hurry. And in other words, when they left, they were pissed at him. So it's very likely that some of these people, or one of these people, might be able to provide us very interesting and material facts that might help us move our matters along. So again, if anyone knows anything about any of these people, please let us know. Names, locations, telephone numbers. We have no interest in harassing any of these people, but if they would be willing to come forward and provide, basically act like a whistleblower, even though they're not, but they might be. But to step forward and explain why they were so pissed when they left and how it was working for John Hurry and what was going on at Alpine Securities. I know in part that Alpine Securities was funded by another Alpine entity that apparently charged usurious rates of interest, and that profits were transferred from one Alpine entity to another one, perhaps where Mr. Hurry was involved, but I don't know. That's just my suspicion. But I know that the profits were transferred. So there's a whole bunch of shenanigans, and I think especially the chief financial officers and the chief operating officer, and by the way, the chief compliance officer, I think they all should know. So just think about the timing of this also. So we have the 40 violations from 1984 through 2022. We have the violation of the Bank Secrecy Act in 2019. We have Alpine hiring and trying to make as a representative of their firm a known sex offender. And then we have this. So this was the March 2022 ruling, and that's what I was just referring to. And I just want to read you, and this will be the end of this particular video. I just kind of want to read you what the specific ruling was of FINRA, March 22, 2022. And this was the ruling. Member firm Alpine Securities Corporation converted and misused customer funds and securities, engaged in unauthorized trading, charged and paid customers unfair prices in security transactions, charged customers unreasonable and discriminatory fees, and made unauthorized capital withdrawal. For this misconduct, the member firm is expelled in order to pay restitution. Restitution ordered in this particular case, which they haven't paid. So they haven't paid the $12 million, nor have they paid the approximately $2.3 million in restitution they were ordered per this plus interest. So they're never going to pay that, nor they could afford to pay that, nor again has the SEC apparently tried vigorously to collect it. And FINRA imposes a permanent cease and desist order against the firm. So that was the findings after 40, again, being disciplined 40 times, having a sex offender, violating the Bank Secrecy Act. So why are these guys still around? Where is the SEC? Put these guys out of their misery. Again, to all you out there, if you could find If you locate any of those people, you have a name, a contact, etc., please let us know. Anyway, that's a little more insight on Alpine and what they do, and that who's running the show, and that there's a lot of dissatisfaction. Anyway, everybody be well, take care, have a great evening.